A quick preface, just because I feel like I have to do it service. I grew up Mennonite. I grew up in a Mennonite home, traditional Mennonite culture. This poem speaks specifically to subservience, but I don't want to take away from the great things that are a part of that culture. So I'm not completely tearing it apart, because there's some really beautiful, beautiful things about it. My daughter, where do you go in the sharp brisk of night? As each notch of spine leans into that place where my body needed you over and over until you were watermelon ripe, I feel the quiver as your hand grabs quick to the pulse of my elbow, your breath hanging heavy in the air, waiting for the tide. Are your dreams riding broken chariots, buckling with grief as they charge against the dawn? Have you gone to gather our generational legacy of broken women? Your great-great-grandmother swallowed moonstones so she would have something all her own when she met God. Your great-great-grandfather carried the soil of the farm in his pockets so he could prove he had kept all for his own in order to purchase the path to righteousness. And I wonder what God had to say about that. Your great-grandmother has mastered the art of fluster. She reminds me of the chokecherry trees. Knuckles baking under mid-July tenacity, straw hats, mosquito coils. Oh, the things she'll do for pie. Realized she was hard of hearing last Remax convention, late 70s. That afternoon, the only thing she bid for was more time to read the lips of the numbers being read. That was the year she retired into Mennonite housekeeping, raised her children right on borscht and common sense. That was the year she mastered the art of fluster, stammering and shaky-fingered as she missed the underground rumble of her husband's bellow. Good wives know how to listen, but what if they can't? My grandfather's words, hundreds of miniature wooden blocks sliding down crooked floors, his voice, the time, and the microwave all coming into the same metronome, so she's got to turn the hearing aid up, turn the hearing aid up, turn the hearing aid up so she can hear the voices of her grandchildren when we tell her we love her. At 82 years old, Mary asks her dementia-ridden husband to speak up. Speak up when he tells her he's leaving her. Leaving you. Leaving you. Leaving you! Presses her ear hard against the gospel, listening for the sound of reason in a world gone crazy while the church bells ring. My grandfather sings to the tongue of the wild, while his wife reads her daily bread with fingers whose nerves have forgotten how to stand still. This is the sight of a fall from grace, losing oneself, like vowels melting out of the very word vowel. And a couple sits over dry toast and burnt coffee, having built their lives in the psalms of church pews. The songs are falling. The songs are falling. The songs are falling out. And soon there will be only prayer and weathered Bibles as she marches towards the bright light, singing her favorite hymn off key. My mother was barbaric with self-loathing in her 20s. Chaste abuse always caught her prey. When she snared your grandfather, it gave her a weakness in the knees so dizzying it later broke her nose. Now aged, she rubs forgiveness into her joints, holds on to you, her only granddaughter, like a corrected mistake. I am your mother. I struggle. I'm afraid you will see my beast, afraid of the dark, of loud noises. I'm afraid your hands will shake. The tremors come from centuries of trying to hold the earth still while the men in our lives spun out of control. I am, after all, my father's daughter. We don't get along so much, him and I. Memory is a funny thing between fathers and daughters. He's got the face of a buckskin rabbit chomping at the bit for a good night's sleep. He is dark pepper. I do not look like him. Memory is a funny thing between fathers and daughters. He is terrified of my wildness and my truth. I throw his fear into the air. It becomes a crow, circles in on us. There is this stillness between us, so cold and lonely, it burns the tops of fence posts along the North Saskatchewan River, chews away at the frozen ears of dead animals, drips at me in my sleep. Later, I lean into regret with all my weight, tired of undoing stitches. And so, my daughter, I hold your breath in my mouth like we might be underwater forever, swimming towards that place where we can exhale, stand like wild bisons, cry out to our brow-beaten foremothers, spirits crushed to the skull, sing, "Mothers, we are here! We are here, mothers!" My daughter, the dawn is breaking, calling you back to me. Tell me, can you feel the light? Thank you so much.